Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and we're going to be working today in the spring journal, and I think it's really time to get these signatures sewn in. So I've actually made a little start, and I have sewn in the back too. So I've sewn in May and April, and I just thought I'd do the final one, the front one, on camera. So let's just do that. So I've decided this time, for a change, to use some embroidery thread. I just thought it would be quite nice, make a nice change, and it's a bit softer, and I just fancied trying it. And I'd originally hoped to use a nice green that would go with the colours, but I didn't have one that was suitable. But actually the colour I've got here, which is this kind of very pale beigey colour, I think it goes really well actually with the rest of the colours of the journal, so certainly of the signatures, so I'm really happy with that. And I'm using the Rachel method, which I haven't tried before, of not cutting it off in advance, because there's usually a lot of wastage when you do that, and I thought, well, I'll try doing it with just leaving it attached. Seems to be working perfectly fine, it's not a problem, so that's what I'm going to do. So I've just, first of all, I haven't punched any of my holes in this signature. It took me a while to work out from as you can see from my template, it's a bit of a mess, because working out where the holes needed to be punched took a few minutes. I used my big bite to do the holes in the spine because it's so thick. There's no way I'd have gotten all through it or anything else. And I often do that anyway with the spine, just because it makes it easier to get the needle through. And first of all I had them here, and then I thought, no, they're too close together, and it wasn't going to support the signature enough to have them so close to the middle. So I adjusted it, and I got there in the end, and it's fine. So I just need to put make sure I get it the right way around, because I nearly punched my holes upside down. You won't be surprised to learn when I started. Let's just make sure everything is where it needs to be and centralised. Let's find my centre of the signature, if I can find it. Yes, there it is. And just adjust everything. Yep, I've got the envelope where I want it. So I don't know if I'll catch the envelope in any other spot than in the middle, but I think it'll be okay. And then I always like to just tamp it right down with my ruler, make sure it's well into the socket. And let's put the template in. So I'm only using the middle, obviously the middle holes for the signatures. And I'm just going to try and centralise it by eye to get the middle. So I'm just looking to see how it looks each side, because obviously the template's a little longer than the signature. I probably should have made it the same size as the signature, but I went for the same size as the spine. And I didn't really think about that until I was doing the signature. Never mind, works fine. As long as it's near enough, I'm happy with that. Alright, let's just double check. Yeah, I think that's reasonably central. Let's go for it. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh, I didn't put my clips on, did I? Let's just quickly clip them into place so it doesn't shift when I take it out. I only put a couple of clips in this. Seems to hold. There we are. Just hold it all in place while it gets sewn in. Okay. Now my next little job is just to make the holes a bit bigger, because as I've mentioned before, I use a really thick needle, and maybe I'll have another go at using a smaller needle, but I do find these thick threads quite difficult to thread onto a smaller needle as well, so I just have to go for the big holes. It's all fine, you don't really notice once it's all in and decorated and everything, you don't really notice how big the hole's in, as long as it's sewn in fairly nice and firmly. Should be fine. So let's let's give that a go. I hope then I've made the holes big enough. I think I have. And we'll just get going. Let's hope I don't make the usual mess of it that I do when I'm normally doing this on camera. Having just done the other two, I feel a little bit more confident that I know what I'm doing. Not necessarily always the case though. Let's just make sure it goes through the hole first. It's always that first pull through that can be tricky. See if I've made the holes big enough. Barely, but it is. It's through. Alright, let's get going. So through that one. Just make sure I pull the little tail through. There it is. Doesn't need to be as long as that. Okay, and then whoop. These sorry silk, the closure does get in the way sometimes. And then this through here. I knew it was going too well. Won't go through this time. It's going a little bit off course. Going through the hole. I'm not sure why. Yes, I do. I do know why. Because I'm on camera. It's the only reason that could possibly be. But it doesn't go as smoothly as it does when I'm not on camera. Okay. Through this time. Okay. Not too much thread, do I? Back through the bottom. It's also a little tricky because it's very, very warm here today. We're actually having a little mini heat wave and it's absolutely wonderful. The weather is glorious. I cannot complain about it being too warm, even though it's making my hands a little bit moist when I'm doing this. But it feels like we've been waiting and waiting for so long for some nice warm weather. I'm definitely not going to complain now we've got some. Thoroughly enjoying this. We actually had breakfast in the garden this morning. I mean, it was just, and yesterday. It's a Saturday, and our Saturday routine, and it's become a really nice little routine, but it's even better now we can do it in the garden, is that my husband does a park run on a Saturday morning, which you may or may not have heard of. It's a 5k run. It's always at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, all across the country. Yeah, it's always the same. But they do it in parks everywhere. Wherever wherever you live, there's going to be a park run somewhere nearby, if not more than one. It's so popular now, and it's the same distance, and you just go every week, and you get T-shirts for every mile, every 50, well, more or less every 50 runs that you complete. My husband's got his 100 so far. I think the next one actually is 250. Bit of a while before he gets that. So I'm going to keep talking to distract you from the fact that I can't get it through the can't get it through the hole again. Oh, this is ridiculous. I might turn the camera off because I'm getting fed up with always struggling when I do this on camera. It worked perfectly fine when I did it before. So now it's come off the needle. I'll be back when I've got this through the hole. Okay, bit of fiddling, and I've got it through now. I'm sorry about that. It just happens every time, and it had been going so well. And I've got a bit too much to play with, so I'm just going to shorten that bit, pull that a bit, make sure it's nice and tight. I mean, there's a certain amount of wastage still, but not, I don't think, as much as if you cut it pre-cut it. Okay. And then I'll just tie a double knot, and that should be fine. Yeah, I was telling you about our little Saturday morning routine that we've started since we've been here, and my husband's carried on doing park run. He found a local one because he used to do park run in our old house as well, but we didn't have the same setup there. So I don't know if I've mentioned, I probably have, that we have this really wonderful bakery just moments up the road. I mean, it is literally barely 2 minutes walk up the road. So he goes off to park run. I have myself a cup of tea and take my time getting up and ready, and then I trot up the road and buy us a couple of croissants. And he comes back from his park run, and we have croissants and tea, or he has coffee, I have tea, and it's very pleasant. It's just a nice little routine. And of course this week we managed to do it sitting in the garden. Croissant, tea, sitting in the garden. What more can you want? Felt like we were on holiday. Right, there we are. That's all done now. Lovely. Right, so I'm very happy with how that's gone in. I might just close it, tie them closed, because I want to finish doing the front now. Put the topper on now that I've sewn in the signatures, because I was waiting to see, because I want to put some lace around the spine, and I didn't want to do that, have the topper on when I did before I did it. So it's a fair old spine there, so I've got to find a decent sized piece of lace here. I don't know if I've got any wide enough. I might end up just putting it down the back and not worrying about it going around. So I have got, I don't know if this is wide enough though. So I've got this piece. It would be perfect for a spine, but I don't think it's, well, it is almost big enough actually. It does cover up the stitching, which was the whole point. It's definitely an option, because I wanted something that's got the double-sided effect, and it does cover up the stitching. Actually, I really rather like that. And this little scallop mirrors the scallopy bit sticking out here, even though it's, I think it's a completely different lace. Yeah. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that'd be the winner straight away. I didn't think it was going to be big enough, but maybe it doesn't need to wrap around, because I've got quite a big topper anyway, and it's definitely one of the prettiest. Right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to use this one. I have decided. I like it. Right. Just pin that back into place. Where did I throw the pin? There it is. Right. Okay. So I'll just get the Fabri-Tac out and glue that, and of course it covers up all these ugly holes, because it does leave a bit of a raggedy hole when you use the big bite, but it's definitely the best option for me. There. Oh, I do like that. Yeah, and while we were sitting in the garden having our croissants, well, I think, no, that's not true. We'd had our croissants, Richard had gone for his shower. Had a call from our daughter, who's on her honeymoon. She was sitting on a beach, as you do, on a sunbed, having a lovely time. Her husband had gone off for a little scuba diving expedition. So she was having a couple of hours to herself, And bless her, she thought, oh, I'm going to call my parents and give them an update on how we're getting on, which is so lovely. You don't expect to necessarily hear from your daughter when she's on her honeymoon, but they are having a wonderful time. They're going around different islands in the Cyclades, the Greek islands of the Cyclades group. So I think they've done 2 so far. Got a couple more to visit over the next week. So they're just sort of island hopping a little bit, and they're absolutely loving it. It's just the sort of holiday I love. I love going to the Greek islands. Right. So anyway, so they're having a fabulous time, which is lovely to hear. Right. Let's have another look at the our little topper that we can probably now put on with no problem. I could have put it on before, but I didn't know what lace I was going to use, so I think I'm happy that I've left it. So just a case of trying to do it so that it kind of goes around this hole here. So if I put it about there, then that should work fine, shouldn't it? Okay, let's get this on, and it starts to look like a journal then, doesn't it? Right. Right. Okay, let's get this on. Now, what's it going to do? Up or down? Up, down. Trying to decide which, because I don't want it's not I can't put it central because the scallop comes in the wrong place. So I think I'm just going a fraction down from central, which I think is fine. I think. And then I've always got the option to put some sort of label across the top here, like springtime or something. Not sure yet. There's options of what I could put there. So there we are. I think our topper is on. So that's now all got to go and dry. So the first thing I think we need to do while this is drying, I mean it's kind of ready to be filled now, is have a look at all the ephemera that I pulled out right at the beginning. See what we've got in the way of pockets, and then I think the first thing I'm going to want to do is start making pockets. Let's have a look, see what we've got. And I've got another little box. I can just pull anything that looks like pocket shaped. It's going in here. That's not a pocket. And there's a whole bunch of tags and journal cards from the various kits, some of which have been backed and some have not. So that's a job to do. I did a really good job on Wednesday at my craft club. I got all the little tags from the springtime kit, you know, the new one the one I just found, the Jana's Crafting one. I got them all backed and cut out while I was sitting and chatting at craft club, because I was finding it quite difficult. The week before, I hadn't got anything done because I hadn't been for a couple of weeks, so I spent the whole time chatting and I think I got one piece of paper glued on. And that was about it. Just picking out anything that looks like a pocket, kit pocket, or that's a journal card. That could be a pocket, couldn't it? And this one is definitely a pocket. Oh, my little one, that little one there, love that. Forgotten about that one. That's definitely a pocket. And there's a couple more of those postcards that will need some work if I'm going to use them, but they'll be pockets or journal cards, but they look more like pockets to me. And a few more, load of tags. What else we got? Oh, these are the ones I had in my stash, I think. Various things. Mostly look like journal cards. And tags, lots of tags. So I'm not short of tags for this journal, that's for sure. I've probably got more than I'm going to need. I'm going to need lots of nice roomy pockets, aren't I? To get all these things in. That's a tag with a pocket. So it still needs to go in a pocket. Oh, what we've got here Yeah, that's a Roxy Creations pocket by the looks of it. And that's another funny little pocket. I think that's a Treasure Books video that I watched. I have my two, at least one set of corner pockets. That's quite nice. I do like my corner pockets. And then this is a Roxy Creations with the vellum. Really pretty, love that one. What's this here? Oh, looks like another Rachel pocket with its own card. So put that at the back, needs nothing doing to it. And a couple of other random pockets that may hopefully go. I think this one might be a Paper Outpost, and this one's definitely Gail Agostinelli. So we'll see what we do with those. Oh, this is definitely a Paper Outpost pocket. I think I might cover her up. It's very springy in the colours, but I don't think she's quite in keeping with the rest of the journal, so I'll cover her up, but otherwise it's fine. What's this one? This is a flippy pocket with a space for a tag at the back. And this is a vellum pocket in the shape of a tag with a little journal card in it. Oops. Okay, is that a pocket or is it a tag? That's the question. I'll be inclined to say that is a tag. Yeah, I think it is. And this is a little something or other. It's definitely a Rachel thing. I think I think I had one of these for my music journal. This has got little pockets inside it, but it's got the spring flower, so that could be, but I think it goes in a pocket rather than is a pocket itself. Oh, there's my little Jenny Wren. So she's going in here. This is a flippy pocket made from the Springbird song, so her kit, so that's definitely one to use. And then this one is a wraparound, another Rachel. Love that one. Oh, I must get my feathers out again. I love my feathers. Don't really want to use this one, I don't think, because it's the same thing, but not as pretty. Envelope, no, it goes in a pocket. What's this one? Is that a pocket? Oh yes, I think that's, yes, that is definitely a pocket there. We made that as part of Rachel's challenge. And then there's this giant page covering pocket. That was a Gail Agostinelli pocket, I think. Right, I've got more than I thought, and a belly band. So, oh, we're doing okay. In a way, I'm a bit sad because I love making them. So I better count up how many I've got, because I'm thinking, generally speaking, I would be aiming at 18 to 20 pockets for 3 signatures. Maybe 21, so I've got the even number in each signature. So how many have we actually got? Maybe I won't need to make very many to have the full complement. And that's got to be including things like belly bands and side tucks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take these out for now because they're a bit, well, because they've got this. I've got this one, haven't I? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and these are just plain. I think these are there if I need to make any more. Take those out, I think. Oh, I've lost count now. Was it 11? It's not good talking to myself as I go along, is it really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, how annoying. I've got enough pockets and I don't have to make any more. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm happy about that, because I've got some I want to make. So I think we might just not use all of the these postcardy ones. Maybe I won't use, or I could use them for journal cards, couldn't I? Just back them and they're journal cards. So maybe I'll take those out. I'll make a few more. Let's make a few more, and then make some choices, because I definitely need at least a couple of side tucks as well, and I need to do something to decorate up this belly band a bit more. So yeah, we'll just carry on making things and then just use the ones we like the best. How about that? Because I think part of the fun is making the ephemera after all. So right, I've got to go and get the papers out that I need, so I'll be right back. Right, so the first pocket I want to make is this one. They're all going to be book page pockets, and I've been inspired the last week or so by Dee Farago. She's doing a series on, she's doing a bee journal, but for each of her videos she's making pockets using book pages, and there's some really good pockets. So this isn't actually one of them. This is one I had. I think I just had this piece, and I thought, well, I'd like this pocket as well. I can't remember where I saw this being made. I think it's probably Paper Outpost, and it was just sitting in my to-do box. So I thought, well, I decorated one up that I had already cut out. So I'm going to start with this one, because these have got quite a good deep pockets here. So you could actually hold quite a bit in these pockets. So I poured in some quite large book pages, because you need two pieces and you need them of a reasonable size. You could probably do it with smaller ones. Yeah, you probably could. I wanted a decent sized pocket. These are pages from my old encyclopedias that I've had since I was a child, so I thought they were a good thing to use this for. So I'm just going to tidy up the edge on this, and I don't have a particular measurement I will go for. I'll just do the width that it looks a good idea to me. And I'll tidy up the edge on the other one. Obviously you've got to make both pieces the same size. So this is what I like to do, is if I'm going to make something like this, I'll make this kind of basic prototype that I won't glue together, so I can see how it's made, and then I'll have another one that's more or less finished so that I can see how it's supposed to finish, and then they'll sit in my stash, and I'll kind of can refer to the basic prototype and then how it's supposed to look at the end. So you need two pieces the same width. It doesn't matter what the width is, but this is quite a good width. I mean, these are about 4.5-ish. That's quite a good width for a pocket anyway. So I just need to get sure I tear them down about the same size. Maybe 4.25. I don't know if that looks wider than the one I've made. No, it's just about the same. Okay, so take these two pieces. Okay. And then you just take the top one. I'm sure you've seen this made. I mean, this is nothing new, I'm sure. Just I like to make things that are different, new for me. All right, so you I suppose just fold it up to wherever you think you want the top of the first pocket to be. So you've got a bit of room to put something in. And then then you glue those together. That's right, so you've got a double thickness there, and the second one folds up sort of just wherever under there, and then you've got your basis, and then you've got a nice strong pocket. I suppose you could leave this open, but I think I'd rather glue it, make it nice and secure and strong, and tuck something behind it rather than try and tuck something in between the two layers. So I'm going to glue the two layers together first of all. I might just put something underneath so any glue that seeps out doesn't go on my mat. At least that's the plan. I don't seem to be able to avoid getting my mat really mucky, but I do try. Okay. So they're now glued together, flapped up, hands flapped up. Going to cover it all up, so it doesn't matter that this is all upside down. And I suppose if you wanted the book page to show a little bit, you just turn the back page the other way so that when it folds up it's the right way up, but I'm not going to worry about that. And what I'd like to use for decorating this one, unsurprisingly, is some of the papers from the Jana's Crafting Kit, because I only got to put a few handful of pages in the actual journal, so I thought they'd be really handy to make some ephemera with. There's loads of, the kit itself comes with loads and loads of tags. As I say, I spent a fair bit of time backing all of those tags, but it comes with virtually no pockets in the kit, so I thought, well, it's be a good thing to then decorate these pockets with some papers from the kit. So I quite like this one, so maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, I'm going to try and I want to do the middle pocket a little bit different, but I have got another coordinating paper that maybe I could use. Obviously mass making these would be a great project for scraps, because that's what I used to decorate this. I just went in my scraps box and got some bits of paper out that I thought would look nice. But they're all the same, from the same piece of paper. But you could use things to contrast as well. And it goes there. Right, let's just try and tear this to the right width. Right, so I'm thinking that piece is rather nice at the top. I'll just do it long enough to tuck behind the pocket below it. Tuck that one in there. Oh, it's not as wide as I thought it was. Oh well, never mind. That doesn't surprise me entirely that I managed to make it less, not as wide as I'd hoped. Oh well, maybe I'll have, I don't know if this piece is, maybe I didn't tear it straight, maybe the bottom piece is wider, I don't know. Let's see. So that seems to be a little bit wider at the bottom. Oh, I'm wondering whether I can tuck it over a little bit to make it reinforce that pocket. Maybe that's what I can do. So I might just pop that one there. And then in between, what have I got that would go nicely? I've got this piece, which is a more all over floral. I could put that on the middle piece, couldn't I? Yes, I could. Okay, let's try and tear things a little bit straighter, shall we? Just start off with the edge. I'll try and go a little wider, and then I can always trim it off if if I need to. That's what I should have done before. And then I'm going to tuck that around the pocket as well. So let's just tear a piece off about here. Keep an eye on that. So that's my, is that the spare piece? No, that's the bottom piece. That's the top piece. Okay, let's start gluing these on. See how it ends up. Upside down, upside down. Okay, so you can see a little bit of book page poking out from the side, but I don't think that's too big a problem. I mean, I shall ink the edges anyway. So then the next one is this one. And I'm going to just fold the top over a little bit so that I can tuck it around the top of the pocket, and let's just reinforce it. Just a little bit wide, but that's okay. I think that was a deliberate ploy on my part to avoid having bits showing at the end. So I'll just trim that off. And then the next piece, do the same thing. Fold over the top. Oops, I've got to be a bit more careful this time, haven't I? Because it's got to fit to the bottom. So I think this one I will just glue the pocket itself and then glue the bit around the top after. Can always tidy it all up afterwards, can't we? As well. Right. And I'm just going to tidy up the sides. Right, so now the reason I've decided to use my tacky glue, even though this bottle is nearly empty, it's a bit of a struggle to get it out, you can see the difference. I used my glue stick for this one, and look how it curls. I know you can glue it down, but I do much prefer it if it's just nice and flat like that straight away and doesn't sort of curl up immediately. I think I'm going to just trim this down a little bit at the side with my trimmer. I think it's just a little wider than I would like, and it's not particularly straight. Oop. And it will just trim off that bit of excess book page that I don't need on the side there. And is that straight? Not sure, but I think it's probably okay. No, apparently it's not straight. Right, so that's our pocket. I love that. I love this paper. I want to do little thumb holes. I'm hoping it'll work okay. I did struggle a bit with this one. I'm not sure if it was whether the paper was still a little wet, which this probably is a little bit wet, but I can't close up my pockets until I've done that, can I? But also I wanted it to get a bit blunt because I use it so much, so I have put some foil through it this morning to see if that makes any difference. So let's give it a go. What I did also find when I did the pink one is that I did not line them up very well. So I might be a little bit more, oh, that was better. I might be a little bit more careful about lining up the thumb hole so I can actually make it look a little bit more central. So that's the centre of my little thumb hole. Whoops. So I might just make a mark there, just so I can pretty well line it up. Hopefully get it in about the right place. Okay. And we'll just ink around that so you can actually see the edge of the pocket. Isn't that just the most pretty paper? And I think this is calling out to me to be sewn around as well. So it might be something I'll do off camera. Well, I certainly won't do it on camera because I can't. My fur machine is too far from my camera. Okay. Oh, the last thing I want to do, I like to round those corners. So I will do that next. I do love watching people making pockets. It's just something I always want to go away and make it myself. So when I saw Dee Dee making a whole little selection of pockets from Bookpage, I thought, well, I really want to make a few of those. Sort of thing you can just make several different papers, have them put away ready to go into a journal. Right. Okay, it doesn't need an awful lot more, I wouldn't have thought, because the papers are just so pretty by themselves. I'm just going to glue down my pockets now. Oop. Just squirted at me. Right. Make sure I only glue that one. there it is. So I think if there's anything that needs adding, it might just be a little label down here maybe. Let's have a look, see what we've got that would perhaps go. Small labels. Something like that. Work, wouldn't it? Just on the set. It looks like it's been had a bit chopped off. So, oh, don't know. It says skull only. Shouldn't read it, I know, but I can't help when these things are legible. Maybe not that one. That side or that side? Maybe that side would be better because it's a little bit. I don't want to cover up that flower, do I? So maybe one there. And then what can I put? I need a little something up the top here. It's not don't need to put a lot because we're going to be putting things in the pockets anyway. Maybe a little number. Got some numbers by. Oh, here's some numbers. Maybe something like that. No, I'm not sure about that. Okay. No, it's not doing it for me. Do we have some little Rachel labels? Gotta see if I can find where I put them. Yes. A little decorative labels, or I have my painted labels. Could I put a painted label on? Painted and stamped? No. I don't want to detract from the paper, that's the thing. But some of her these little stamps are so pretty. That look nice. I like that. No. Definitely fancy a vertical one, I think. Yeah, I like that in there. Although I think now I'm changing my mind about the vertical thing. Let's just drop it off a bit. Put that one there. Yep, I like that. I think. I keep looking and seeing more that I like. No. I'm just wondering, is it too blendy having the blue? Or something like that. Yeah, maybe that would be better, just because it's a slightly different colour coming in. But it's still in the same sort of tone. And put that little card here, little card ticket, no, label. Down the bottom. Okay, I think we'll go with that. And I love this little pocket. Oh, that looks like that might be on label paper. I only know because it's printed on the other side, and I have a feeling when I did that once, I put the label paper, when I first printed these, I put them in the wrong way round. Printed it on the wrong side to start with, and that gave me the clue that that was label paper. Right, this one definitely isn't though. I ought to print some more things on label paper, I forget to use it. There we are. How about that? And then we've got lots of things in my little box that I prepared last week from this kit. So we'll have a look. I've got things like this. I mean, that's going to be too close, isn't it? What have we got? Got tags from different kits. Lots of tags from this kit though. The only thing is with these tags, look at the size of the hole space, and I mean I haven't got any hole punches as big as that, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge to cover up. And these are slightly different heights, some of them. I mean, I'm not saying these are the right ones to go in here because they're almost too close in colour, aren't they? But you can see you can get quite a lot in these little pockets. Just stuff them. So we'll have to see what we use when the time comes. But for now, I think that's going to go in my little box of pockets with my many pockets, but then that gives me some options. I may not use them, well I won't use them all, but I do like that one very much. Right, so that's going to be enough for today. I think next week we'll make some more pockets. I have got a little pile of pockets that I was watching Dee Dee making, so I'd like to make a few of those. And then I suppose we better start putting some things in the journal, see what we've got. So, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.